We don't even have to be serious about this, but Brandon, I'm going to ask you, realistically, is the NBA rigged? I.e., Mavericks getting the first overall pick. Just, I know it's a crazy thought, but I'm seeing it everywhere. What did you make of that draft lottery? Is there any thoughts going through your head there?
I mean, there's been a ton of different notes and thoughts, I think, going across. Like, it seems that every time a major player is traded in a situation, a specific team, gets a draft pick or is in a good spot to refill or retool. I'm not going to go as far as to say it's rigged. I think
Yeah.
I think they've done a really good job in creating a situation now where really it feels like anybody who doesn't make the play-in tournament feels like they can win the draft lottery. And I think you're seeing that a little bit in the NHL too. As these leagues start to depress and even out the odds a little bit more, it will absolutely create some of these scenarios where people are actually shocked to see a team jump up as many spots as we've seen in both of these draft lotteries. So, no, I mean, if say the NHL, if the Sharks had got number one, and then we just see this random kind of Mavericks team come out of nowhere and jump up, double digit spots, I think we would be like, it'd feel a lot different. But I
Fair.
think just seeing that this is kind of what the leagues seem to want is like more parity, more talent in different spots, and more possibilities for teams to kind of rebuild and do things on the fly. So, no, I'm not going to say it's rigged, but I was definitely surprised. I did not expect, especially in the NBA, where you typically do see, the team in the top five or top three typically get that first overall pick. So
Yeah.
I like the way that they've been able to kind of stretch things out and give other teams opportunities. I know they've had obviously problems with the tanking and stuff in the past, so I like to see that might move teams away from that, and maybe they'll try to get to the play-in instead of fall a couple more spots. It gives you an incentive if you have a chance still at the number one pick anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, you can't rig the NHLs. Like, there was no possible way to rig the NHLs. We literally saw it live. Apparently there's no way. It's very, 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 very impossible to rig the NBAs. How in the world, though, does the Dallas Mavericks, the San Antonio Spurs, and the Philadelphia 76ers end up with all top three
Top
picks?
three.
Like, that to me, like, for like, at the end of the day, it's not rigged, but it seems rigged. It's like, it's
Fishy.
so fishy. Like, cause like, yeah, like you can't sit there and say, like, as a normal human being, like, oh, like, didn't the Spurs have like a 6% chance of moving up to the first pick? Like, it's so unlikely that probably, I think there was like, if you did the math on it, it's like 0.14 or 0.14% or something like that, or sorry, 0.0014% chance of that top three happening. And it happens. And it's very interesting to me because the 76ers are a big market team with a big, big, I guess team, like, aspirations going into next year after, realizing that they weren't going to be anything this year and saying we're going to tank, but we're still going to be good next year. And then you have the San Antonio Spurs, who have Victor Wembanyama and get De'Aaron Fox, have the Rookie of the Year, and Stephen or I forget his last name at the moment.
Stephon Castle.
Yes, Stephon Castle. That's what I thought. Stephon Castle, and then you might get the Greek Freak because of your trade assets. Like, you can't tell me that there isn't just a little bit that is fishy about that top three. And then you have teams like the Washington Wizards or the Charlotte Hornets who have been in the dumpster for like the last 5-10 years, and they can't get anything. And like, how are they supposed to get out of the dumpster? Because they can't attract any free agents. Like,
That is true.
You can't get anyone if you're not good. Like, if Cooper Flag goes to DC, someone probably wants to go to DC with him. Like, that's what I mean. Like, the Wizards are so screwed right now. Like, they can't get out of the bottom here because, they're in a terrible place. Like, to me, the top three, like, if you would have said Dallas was number one, and then like we had like a normal, like we saw in the NHL, normal top two, or rest of the league kind of falls down in order, then yeah, that makes total sense. The part that just doesn't make any sense though is how you get the top 3 to be Dallas, San Antonio, and Philadelphia. That like all 3 of those were such long shots that should not be a top 3 that we're talking about. But yeah, that's where we're at.
That's the only disappointing part is those small market teams don't really get a chance to grow. And like, there's no way of just like, do you tank or do you not bother tanking? You just hope for the best. They changed the odds recently, and I think that's why it's a little bit better. It's a little bit more even. It creates like an excitement for the draft.
Yeah,
like people are excited to watch, but
if you're not
good,
like if you're not good and you're literally not trying to tank, but you're literally not good, like the Washington Wizards, like what do you do? How do you get better from this point forward?
You can't. You just have to sort of try to track free agents, which is already hard. But the problem
you have
is
to hope.
Like if I don't like, they want to make the draft lottery probably for the NHL too, like more exciting, like a TV event. I don't care. Yeah, I'm a Sharks fan. It's disappointing that the Sharks didn't get the first overall pick, but you could still get the second overall pick. And I know Cooper Flagg is a can't miss prospect, and that makes the difference here. But the point is to try and incentivize the league to be better and to be more watchable as a league, and hopefully to create parity. And I'm not the biggest NBA fan. I'll be the first to admit that. But at the same time, to make the league more interesting, you'd hope that there's more parity amongst these teams, and you're not having the Washingtons and the Charlottes, essentially out of it halfway through the season. And the lottery is trying to make it a more watchable product in terms of like the lottery and make it so you can't tank. But tanking is sometimes the only way that teams can, be successful. So I think that's the only disappointing part, is that those teams probably they're in no man's land for a little while.
I'll end it by saying this, like very quickly. I'm very happy for Dallas Mavericks fans. I'm super happy for them. They've been through a terrible year. They get their superstar traded from underneath them. No one expects it. I'm not happy for Nico Harrison though. I'm really not. Like he should not get this opportunity. Like it's ridiculous that this is happening for him. It's ridiculous in the sense that you trade away your number 1 guy and everyone knows he's a top 5, at least top 3, maybe even player in the NBA. And for a 31-year-old non-healthy Anthony Davis all the time, like how does this happen? Like that's why it's also like, is this rigged? Because like how do you do this? Like it just everything. I'm not happy for Nico Harrison. I'll tell you that right now.
Bailed out. He gets bailed out again. Damn it, Nico.
Out,
Come on. That's what
goes to the finals last year and then gets the first overall pick. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think just tough. I'm sure the league loves it, but it's tough for the conspiracy theorists out there for sure.